Well, good morning. It's Jim with Cyber-Recon. Uh, just getting things set up this morning for our first cup of cyber. Um, glad to have you watching this. I don't see anybody live. It's probably far too early in the morning for uh, the first broadcast. What I want to talk to you today about is, what the job forecast looks like for cyber in the next, 5 to 10 years. Um, I've been working in cyber for about 25 years now. It's hard to believe, but kind of came across it on accident. Was working in the Army and got the opportunity to be an ISO, or Information Systems Security Officer. Back then, that was just, taking care of software licensing and that kind of stuff. Now it's a huge field. There's a ton of people in cybersecurity. Estimates I've read about 800,000 in America, which, when you look at it with the population, that's a small subset, but the field continues to grow. Bad folks want to do bad things to our computers, to capture our data, to exploit systems. So there's going to be a need for computer people for quite a while. So thought we'd take time with a cup of coffee, Virginia this morning, and talk about what the cyber forecast looks like for the coming next years. I'd say 5, 10, but probably way more than that. One of the things we have to remember is, as we advance and get new technologies, self-driving cars, self-driving trucks, more automated systems, faster processing, that normally means that there's more opportunity for exploit, more chances for people to take over our systems, more chances for job opportunities in this field. So I just got some figures together. I know from personal experience we're short. We don't have enough qualified people. We need more people in the field. We need people that are qualified to come into security and help secure our systems. So we really need help across that field. So right off the bat, looks like, according to PayScale, which is a online source, the top 5 jobs coming up are, in this order from 5th to 1st: cybersecurity manager, cybersecurity consultant, network engineer, which isn't a purely cybersecurity job, but definitely ties into security. Cybersecurity analyst, and number 1, the cybersecurity engineer. And if you look at these are all jobs that you have to be in the field for a while. You have to start somewhere. You don't start out with these jobs. These aren't entry-level jobs by any means. But to get them, you're going to have to start. If you're trying to get into cybersecurity, maybe these are jobs you're going to set as goals, maybe end state goals or midterm goals. Maybe you want to be a chief security officer or chief information security officer somewhere. And that's great, but don't think you're probably going to get these jobs right off the bat. These aren't entry-level jobs. But say you start with a job like information system security officer, an ISO. You're going to do a lot of grunt work. You're going to do a lot of the work that other people don't necessarily want to do. And that's something you should look for. Go look for those jobs. You're going to be put through kind of the ringer as far as the work you're going to have to do. But you're getting a ton of experience, and that experience is going to lead to some of these jobs, right? So the more things you're exposed to, the better your future looks like. So go do some of those hard jobs. Get on with maybe a help desk where you can work security roles on a help desk. The pinnacle job I see for entry level, and it's definitely not a job that's only entry level, because the duties are so wide, is ISO. You could be an ISO your entire career. There are increasing jobs for ISO. You could be a system level ISO, a department level ISO, and then a senior information system security officer for an organization. It's there's plenty of room to grow just in that one role. But these are roles maybe you want to seek to go for as well. What are you looking at? Pay. Um, Starting pay, depending on where you're at in the country, could be 50, 60, 75,000 a year for an entry level job. Um, According to IC Squared, the average salary in cybersecurity across the board is about 90,000. With a security certification, it's about 93,000. Um, and depending on where you're at, if you're in California or Washington D.C., Boston, some of the bigger cities, there's just not enough people. There's not enough people in security to fill the roles. So probably average out here where I live in the Washington D.C. area is probably over 100,000. That's the wide ranging. Some jobs close to 200,000. Some jobs probably down. It's kind of funny, in the 80,000 range. A friend of mine's out in California. He's well over 200,000 in the LA area. But of course, in those areas, your cost of living is going to be higher. So maybe you want to live in some place smaller and take a little less pay. Stay where you're at. Opportunities for remote work continue to go up. That's the way of the future, I think, because it's more efficient to have people work from home. So what else are we looking at? What are the concentrations people are looking at these days? Obviously, you have to start somewhere. I've always said Security Plus. That's the place to start. The folks in Security Plus, they say you should get A Plus, Network Plus, maybe even ITF Plus, and then Security Plus, which makes sense because then you have a background. And it's not saying you can't just jump right in and get Security Plus. So I would say, if you can, go jump in and train yourself up and learn the tasks in Security Plus. Don't just pass the certification, though. You need to know those topics. Understand them, because when you go to work, if you just cram for the certification, at work you're not going to be able to just cram for your job. You're going to have to know some of that stuff. Most managers are going to know that if you're at the entry-level job, you're not going to be an expert at that yet. So get in, learn the topics of Security Plus, and that's going to help you a lot, not just in getting an interview, but actually in the interview, be able to answer the questions, with that knowledge set behind you. What people are looking at going forward, concentrations in cloud computing security, penetration testing, threat intelligence, and analysis and forensics. Again, these aren't entry-level topics. These are things you're going to learn as you go along, but this is what we're going to need in the future. That's what we need today. We don't have enough people in these areas. What's the shortage look like? According to CSEC 2017, this year, 2020, we're going to be about 1.5 million security professionals short. And in America alone, almost 500,000, according to CPO. So there's plenty of room to grow. This isn't the total jobs. This is the shortage. This is how many people we're short in the field. So if you think about all the people that are working security now, all the people in InfoSec, all the people in cybersecurity, all those people plus this many would be as many as we need. So I think they say it's about, a little over half of what we totally need. We're short. So go out there, look for opportunities to get into security. Although we're short people, sometimes it's hard to get in. It's hard to break into security. And that's just because of the nature of the work we do. But don't let that discourage you. Go out, get your certification, get trained, volunteer places if you can to get your experience built up. You need to get experience built up. Apply for jobs. We'll talk about, looking at jobs maybe next week or the week after. Throw that on the schedule. Talk about what to look for in a job posting, what you should have on your resume, and what skills you should have. Again, I'm going to say right off the bat, understand computing, um, understand how systems work, because there's no sense in going in the field if you don't know the basics of computing or networking. You got to know at least the basics. And then get in and get that Security Plus, get a certification, and you're probably going to need more. Um, one thing about the field is it will force you to continually um, educate yourself. You will always be learning in this field because the bad guy, the person on the other side, is always going to be trying new things to exploit, and there's new technology always coming out. So I hope you look to at least think about going into cybersecurity. Um, if you do, there's tons of resources out there. Cyber-Recon has 2 tracks going on right now. One in Security Plus, you can watch it on this channel, and one in IT Fundamentals, ITF Plus, to get you started. If you don't know much about computers, you know, look at ITF Plus. You know, it covers everything from, you know, what the binary system is to how a basic database is structured. So, I'm not saying this should be your only place. Get a book, ebook, or actual real book. Some people don't even have any of those anymore. But grab a book, dig into it. If you're going to get in the field of security, you can always be learning. So might as well start now. Get in there, grab a book. When you have that downtime, read a couple pages. Learn about a point. Learn about viruses and Trojans and worms. Learn about cryptography. That trips a lot of people up. Cryptography is tough. But jump in there. We need people in the field, but we need people that want to be here. So hope you think about it. Hope you join us on the channel. Subscribe. Like the channel. Hit the bell. You'll know when new things are coming out. Cup of Cyber will be out every morning, every weekday morning, 7 o'clock, talking about different things. Join me if you can. I know it's early in the morning, especially on the Pacific Coast. Out there, it's way early. Comment down below. Let me know what you want to talk about. And let me know, maybe the time is just terrible. We're not going to make everybody happy, but we make some people happy. That's the goal. And hopefully you will jump into a career in cybersecurity, right? Anyways, this is Jim. I'll sign off for now, and hopefully see you tomorrow morning.